Should we listen to the fateful break?
Yeah, I think so. I think.
Of Gore.
And I'm believing that you're in love with me.
Maybe there's a fountain. Maybe
Here's a handy hint. If you're like us and you're doing a travel show all the way around New Zealand, an easy way to sort of slide by when you don't really want to visit a town is just pop into the main centre of town. Look, this is a square here. There's always a big trout or a crayfish or a sheep. Just sit by that. And then do this. You know, people come from miles around to Gore just to sit on these rocks and bathe in this water. The healing properties of these rocks and water have been known about, for maybe 200 years in this area, but now around the world, tourists from everywhere are coming in just to stop in Gore, just to fucking stop in Gore.
It's also the epicentre of New Zealand homosexual community. The first gay man in New Zealand was born here in Gore in 1872.
And there's still a huge, thriving underground community of gay people who just don't tell anyone.
Gore.
Gore, the G's for gay.
Gore. It's the Rarotongan community.
Home of the solitary Rarotongan. Stay clear off, mate.
You know, many people have said to us, what's so special about Gore? And to be honest, there's not a lot. It's got a big trout. You know, Gore's not only New Zealand's country and western capital, but it's also the world capital for brown trout fishing. You may be saying, Gore, cut out the double dipping, but it's allowed to, because it's Gore.
You know what I say? Maybe Gore should be the capital of greedy piggery. Greedy Gore.
Greedy old Gore.
Greedy old Gore.
Greedy old gay man's Gore.
Greedy old gay man sitting around the back of the fence, doesn't tell anybody, keeps it to himself. Gore.
Dirty old Gore.
Dirty old hidden pyramid scheme gay man behind the back fence, drunken old woman driving down the main street on a Wednesday night off to Housey Gore. Is that what it's all about, is it?
Be careful in the toilets at Gore.
This is Gay Man's Rock. It's a place where men can feel comfortable with one another just sitting around in the sun.
Where men seeking men find other men seeking men.
You know, more and more men are coming to Gore just to get together. Hey, fellas.
Hey, guys.
Yeah? Hey.
Hi. Gore's the boomtown capital of New Zealand.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there. Actually, I haven't listened to the full clip for a long time.
That you guys, it wasn't just a throwaway. You guys,
Fucking hell. So as you can see
Right, it's
there.
actually, you know what? Can I just say, considering
What was that?
Thanks, New Zealand on air.
can I just say, considering that you guys had the big night out, that is high level.
It's a high level.
There's energy, there's ideas, there's humour in it. It was a great break.
Yeah, we're geniuses.
Yeah, this is a fun. I mean, that is genuinely very, very funny.
That there.
that's funny.
So I haven't seen. I reckon I haven't watched that for. I've been actually quite scared to watch it, so I haven't watched it since it came out.
Right.
So I reckon it's 26
Really?
years. No, I haven't. I've been too scared. I'm too scared to watch it. I don't know why.
It's actually better than I remember it.
Yeah.
Because I saw it live, and I remember at the time being quite, really laughing. And then, since then, I thought it was only a throwaway comment. I didn't realise that you guys just doubled in.
Because the other part of the story is, okay, so we sit on the rock, we start talking, because we didn't think, for a second, I never thought for a second, oh, God, this is a stupid, I thought, it's a shot. 80% of the stuff you shoot, you don't use. And I just thought, we're not going to use this.
We really, even right down to the very last minute, that wasn't going to be in the show.
No.
That was just like, okay, we have to do something, then let's do something like this.
Yeah, exactly. And we thought, well, and we're kind of almost doing it despite the director, because Dave kind of made us do it, and we're like, we don't really want to be here. We want to get to Slope Point.
Let's do something he won't use.
Yes.
Let's be honest, though, it wasn't really about getting to Slope Points, we just didn't want to be doing anything.
No, that's right. We just wanted to go back to sleep. And so we're just talking rubbish. Then we sat down from there. That's absolute talking rubbish. Yeah. It was just rubbish.
And there's quite, with having the ability to listen to it again like that, there's a lot of rubbish in there too.
God,
there's a couple of layers.
I think it's high quality.
I mean that's what I mentioned before. Lying.
The lying's fantastic.
Just making up stupid stuff, and that's the thing. So it's kind of free association.
People coming around to use these waters from all around the world. There's 1876 of escape. You're pulling all that stuff out of your ass.
Yeah, that was just rubbish.
No scripts.
So then, after that, we went on to Slope Point. We got down from the thing. I reckon we were there for, what do you reckon, 10 minutes?
If that.
Yeah, we were in, we were out.
Boom, boom,
Did
film
you
it.
stop
Forgot about it.
Stop for a field roll and Gore or anything?
No,
You just
no,
stopped
we
and
kept
kept
driving.
going.
Why would you?
We kept going. So we're on our way to Slope Point. That's fine. And then, I mean, I completely forgot about that. I didn't even remember that it was something that we did. If someone said, "Okay, what have you guys been up to the last couple of days?" It's like we wouldn't have even mentioned it. No. And then when Dave Slade came to put the show together, I remember going into an edit suite up in Hopetown by Hopetown Street.
Yep.
Dave Slade saying to us, "Now I've cut this thing. It's really weird. I've cut this bit of you guys. Do you remember when you sat in the brown truck?" I was like, "Not really." And then he's like, "Well, I've got."
I don't know whether to put it in. He's going, "I don't know whether to put it in." What do you think? It was like, "Yeah, chuck it in." That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. And then
It's ridiculous for now, but back then that was ridiculous times 1,000. People didn't do breaks like that back then. They were all almost received pronunciation and planned and everything. So,
Well, here's the problem.
so that's now it's kind
we
of
were
ridiculous.
disruptor.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was Instagram or YouTube where people were just putting whatever up.
No, and here's the thing. For the listing of the show for the day, for that night, it said, Mikey Havoc and Newsboy visit Fox Glacier, blah, 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 and Gore. So what happens is all the people of Gore think, "Oh, yeah.
Finally, the recognition we deserve.
Here we go. April's Angels came through last time. They caused some problems. They trod on our flower beds. They trod all over the flower beds and they never replaced them.
Yeah.
Those bloody flower beds. We
Used
spent
their
lots.
toilets.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Wash your cups.
So this is finally Gore. Finally redemption for Gore.
Well, I
we
wonder
get
what
our
they're
moment
going to
in
do
the
here.
sun.
Going to talk to some local. They're going to talk to some local personalities.
They're gonna visit the Golden Guitars or
They
whatever.
might go
I
brown
wonder.
trout. They might go brown trout fishing. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
No, they tune in.
Wide main streets too.
Yeah.
They tune in, and there's 2.5 minutes of them just sitting on there saying how it's the gay capital.
And of course nowadays that would mean people need to understand this. Like, so the world record, I think, of being, because Gore at that time was so intensely bogan. I grew up in Dunedin, but my family was in Invercargill, and so I'd go past there once. And I remember once stopping for fish and chips, and I'd been called a puff. Like, before my foot even hit the ground to get out to go to the fish and chip shop.
This
So
is the thing.
it was famous for being the most homophobic part of the entire New Zealand. So literally, my foot hadn't even touched the ground, getting out of a car to go and get some fish and chips, and someone said, "You puff."
Yeah.
That's...
Why were they? Why? Was it the car you were getting out of,
town,
or was
out
it
of
just
town.
your dress? Was it your clothes?
I had long hair. Long hair back
Long
in the
hair,
day.
a non-pig hunting long haircut. Yeah.
So nowadays, saying that would not be controversial at all. It would be like room temperature water. But back then-
you'd think.
Yeah, but this is a different era. So
It's kind of the same era still.
so down there, it's the same. But so you didn't know I was going to be in it. Then it was put in.
Plus
You said let's put it in,
Plus,
and then
we're
it
a couple of silly dicks.
Yeah.
Why would you listen to anything we're saying anyway? What are you doing up at that hour watching TV anyway?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Because
then-
10 o'clock. It's
but the
on
whole
10
of-
o'clock
yeah,
on a
because-
Tuesday night.
Because back then, being on TV was the most important thing in the world. It didn't happen to people much, especially in the region. So being on Gore meant that everyone in the town would have sat around and go, "Finally, we're going to get our thing."
Yep.
As you said, April Angels absolutely burnt the town to the ground. This is going to be our redemption. So it goes to air, and how quickly did you see that it was creating? Because it's not like
Well, there's no social media, so you get no feedback.
What you do get though is the newspaper,
Yeah,
the daily newspaper, and in this case, the Southland Times.
yeah.
So there must have been a day. So that aired, and then I'm told, and I wasn't there, but I'm told.
But you must remember, like just like you do a show like that, and you'd have a team of people that would give you sort of a review of it. Close friends, maybe a family member,
A few text messages.
just a good. I don't know. There were text messages back then, were there?
A few landline calls.
No, there were no text messages.
So,
A few letters.
Yeah, a few letters. A fax. Hey, you get a fax.
The fax machine was
Yeah,
overheating.
fax machine would have been overheating with that actually.
Yeah, so there's a bit of feedback
Yeah.
from your friends and closer, but you didn't know what the rest of
And everyone
people
thought it was
thought.
really funny. People,
Talk back would be the
I
talk
remember.
back would be the
I
only
saw
one.
it laugh, and I saw it live, and I remember with some friends in a flat, and I remember just laughing so much. We thought it was because we were from down that way, so we thought
Wherever
someone saying
we
about
went,
Gore.
we took joy with us.
Well,
this is
I'll
the
tell
thing.
you who wasn't laughing, and that was the Merrill staff and the council, because the next day Mayor Og, Mary Og.
Mary Og.
Mary Og. She went into the council chambers.
Just so we're clear, the mayor of Gore, the mayor of the town Gore, was named Mary Og.
Og from Gore. Og.
Now, Mary Og fuming on the front page of the Southland Times.
So there must have been a day, though, where she went into the council meeting, right, the next day. They talked about it. They said, have you seen how we were portrayed last night on TV2?
They talked about it in the council meeting.
Yeah. Have you seen what happened last night on TV?
I think if you'd been in Gore, the ground would have shook. With the reaction to
they
it.
were furious.
The whole crowd would be. People would be
told
standing up.
I'm told that was all they talked about in the meeting.
Tables would have been flipped.
That's apparently all they talked about. So then there was the day. So then they thought to themselves, we're not happy about this. Then they go and talk to the Southland Times. Also went, well, hold on a second. We've just been told that.
Yeah.
So then they approached.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, they approached Mary Og that day.
The mayor.
And then Mary Og. Well, she was not happy about it.
No,
and
she came. Her response was, "I'll tell you what. How dare they say that about Gore? If those two characters come back into this town, we will chase them out of town with sticks, bits of wood with wire on it."
I
So
think
this was in the Middle Ages, was it? Was it in the medieval times?
Like with
So
the
this is on
Frankenstein
the-
monster.
So the next day, so there was our show aired on a Tuesday night. There was the Wednesday council meeting. On the Thursday morning Southland Times, the headline
They went to press.
with the picture on the front cover, Mayor reels at gay quip.
Gay quip. That's right.
And then the picture of her by the brown truck. Quite a nice little reels. Actually, quite a nice little pun there on the headline. Quite good work from Southland Times. And then she went on to then say, I think I'm pretty much. I tried to find the newspaper last night. I couldn't find it, but I'm pretty sure she said there are no gay people in Gore. I'm pretty sure she made the statement that there aren't gay people in Gore.
There was something like that too, and this is where it starts to get all up the tits.
Yeah,
because it's it's just like okay, so what are you so angry about it actually? Of all those things we said, firstly, and our general disregard for the town as was the fashion of the show at the time, and that's all you're so angry. You don't. Oh, okay. So you must really hate gays down there.
Well, that's the thing, because they haven't even thought about it. They've thought that is an insult, that you have insulted the town. They're not thinking. They're not thinking any.
Well, of the 35 lies that we told in that little piece to camera, they went for this one. They just took this little one.
In their eyes, at that time, that was the worst thing you could say, that there were gay people living in your town.
And we thought it was hilarious because we had great gay influence on the show, didn't we? Like, good gay friends out and about, and and so we just thought it was just representing another part of our sort of group of friends and sort of thing.
Turns out like the main street of Gore is very different from K Road and
very
Ponsonby
much
Road.
So.
Couldn't have been more different at that time.
But I mean, so suddenly this stupid hungover joke turns into this amazing social experiment, and it was fascinating, man. Just to go, really? So you're not definitely not the gay capital, definitely. So definitely, I mean, the chance of that being no way. So who was the gay capital then? Oh, okay. So you don't want to say, okay, right. So, but there's definitely no gay people there. Although I do have this letter from a guy who said, I'm the only gay waiter in Gore, and that's hilarious. Or here's Mike Padu. So all these, this is what became amazing. How fucking angry they got about that.
I mean, Mike Puru is an interesting, great New Zealander, Mike Puru. Of
great
course,
broadcaster.
Gore, grew up gay in Gore, and he was the head boy of his school. So at that very time, I'm not sure where it crosses over or not, for Mary Og, very wrong, because I think the head boy of your school at that time may have been gay.
Yes. Well, the other weird thing for us is, okay, so we've done this thing, it's broadcast out. She's gone in the paper. It's blown up. It's made it even bigger than, I mean...
Yeah, what other papers did it go into? So it's in the Southland Times. How did I know? Because I immediately knew that it was a scandal, and so I'm outside of the circle.
They came
because
out
everybody just was going on about it.
But was it another media? Was it? How did it...
Well, their response was so intense
I
that
think
it elevated it all
I
of a
think
sudden.
people talked about it. They must have talked about it on Talkback Radio, News. It must have made one news. It must have...
I think the idea as well was
Did
so stupid. It was such a stupid idea that anyone would call it that.
But you know what I'm saying? I didn't read the Southland Times, and also there wasn't social media, so how did we know?
But we did, and so we had another TV show on the next week.
Right.
So we got to sort of really.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what happened last week? Gosh, that seemed to.
So this was turning around that fast. So then did you record another break on it the following week?
I'm sure that we would have mentioned something about it because.
Well, you were doing a radio show as well.
Oh,
and
that's true. There we go. There we go. Yep, there we go.
So I've been listening to that radio show. That's where. That makes sense.
So, but it was the interesting thing about it was neither Mike nor I. Speaking for you, but I think this is probably true. We never thought that was going to be as big as it was. Firstly, secondly, at the time, you got to understand, we were just doing this show. We were like, it was 10 o'clock at night. We were off. It's not prime time, really. It was right at the end of prime time. We were just obscure figures.
Yes, but
Jeremy,
Jeremy,
were doing this, and all of a sudden, through this, we became quite well known for this particular thing that we never thought that was going to happen.
But you've got to understand, people, that back then the numbers you were getting at 10 o'clock at night, they would absolutely kill for in prime time now.
Oh yeah.
Everyone watched TV back then.
400,000 people watching that show in the 5+, which is a lot of people at 10 o'clock at night, but different times.
And
400 people talking to each other about it.
And because it was a big deal. It was for us making that joke was just a joke.
Yeah.
It was just like but you suddenly go, oh no, wow, they really are homophobic.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's not just angry, that's homophobic.
And the interesting thing for us,
so freaked out by it, just like
because you were enlightened individuals from Auckland.
totally.
I can't personally, I think I speak for Germans. I think homophobia is the stupidest, most dickish thing that you get. Like,
well, hence why you were doing that joke.
Yeah. I don't get that at all. And I thought I guess from our position in fruity old Auckland that it wasn't a big deal for us to make that joke. It was sort of like, funny. But then you get down there, and, oh my God, man, like generations of people still hate us for that.
Yeah. Well, we were spending a lot of time at that time. We were spending a lot of time at nightclubs on K Road, which were quite gay. I mean, Calibre it's kind of a gay club in a funny sort of a way.
Gay as a window.
There was all sorts of bizarre activity going on there.
Plus, gays are fine.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But it was still a little bit. It was still definitely gay culture at that stage was still alternative. There's no doubt about that. For the rest of the country,
they're on the fringe as well.
Especially Gore, because so I'm from Dunedin, and Gore was way more bogan and hardcore than Dunedin or Invercargill. I mean, it was famous. It was the town that was the most famous in New Zealand for being a bogan town.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we have to go in 5 minutes. We need to move the story forward.
We're not going to finish this in 5 minutes.
Well,
we've got a punishing KPI meeting. We've got to go.
We need to come. I think we need to put a pin in and come back to it because there's a lot more to go. The other thing is the aftermath was that we firstly never expected that it was going to have that effect, but secondly, it ended up by accident, and this is why I think the best things happen by accident. It happened to be. Because we were just hungover and couldn't be bothered doing anything, it ended up being this piece of satire, which was actually highlighting the completely redneck attitudes of a whole lot of people, which was never the intention.
Yeah, and actually became. It's as stupid as it was. It's one of the things I'm most proud of that we've ever done.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Like just and the way that and what we did with it afterwards, and
it cut through.
Yeah, man. At the time, obviously the country needed it.
It absolutely needed it. But would you be able to come back tomorrow? Would we be able to Uber you back in tomorrow to do part 2 of this? Because I feel like we can't leave it here, and yet we
maybe. Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah,
try because that would be fantastic. Because I'd love to take this up tomorrow because the aftermath involves you in disguises driving through Gore. There's also you going back, Jeremy, and being held under siege at a petrol station with people threatening you out. You're being stuck in a motel. There's the
Crusaders and Highlanders melee at my show many years afterwards.
That's right. And there's
far-reaching consequences.
Thanks to a former All Black.
There's Sainsbury trying to send in the One News helicopter to try and rescue you. There's so much more to the story in the aftermath that we've got to come back to this. And if there's anything, I mean, I'll drive past and pick you up myself on my push bike bike and ride you in tomorrow if you
Dude,
can,
you
Mikey.
don't want
'cause
that. You don't
No,
want
I
that.
don't-
You
I
don't
don't
want
want
that.
I will do that. I'll do that.
It's not enough you
stay
want to
not
take
here.
up.
I shall stay not here.
And I'm like really sorry to the listeners to leave you on tenterhooks like this
I'm
with the
not, but
story.
I'm not because it's worthy of of your listen.
Yeah,
and
okay.
and you know, it might not have the bump and grind of the last one.
Yeah.
That I did, but it's
And that, once again, I would say, like, so maybe go back if you're left on tenterhooks here, you're edging here. Go back and listen to that podcast the last time we had Mikey on August 2022, and just to tide you over to because I hope to God we can get you back, Mikey, because we've got to finish the story. Unfortunately, we've got to go to this punishing meeting. We've got a KPI meeting
Punishing KPI meeting.
that we've been threatened with.
What's
death.
going to happen is we're going to be told these are the KPIs. Then we go,
you'll be
okay.
told,
All right.
like TVNT, they just
Okay.
massive cuts,
Yeah.
massive cuts, destroy the media, eat the media out from inside out.
Actually, that's a good point,
Like,
actually,
hopefully,
huh?
we're not getting cut before we get to finish the show. If this meeting is to get us for us to lose our jobs, that'd be an absolute disaster not to get this tomorrow.
There's a possibility.
If you guys get cut at this meeting today and we don't get to finish this podcast, I will personally go around and tell the story to every Hauraki listener that registers and that wants me to. If you guys get cut today,
Yeah.
you hear
Good on
me?
you, Mike.
Surely not.
God, in
Surely
retrospect, I
not.
wish we'd gone down to and done this by the brown trout. That's
Oh,
we should
that-
have flown down there.
I'm
and
not
done
Yeah.
going back down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not going back now.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't-
okay.
You
I don't
you
know.
Stupid.
Yeah, well,
stupid
we'll
boy.
talk about that
All
on
right.
another occasion.
All right, bless.
Hey,
Okay,
Mike, thank you so
Mikey.
much.
God,
And
God
thank you
bless
so much.
both of you two men too.
Oh,
It's-
bless
it's-
you.
it's been
may,
enlightening.
may the Lord Baby Jesus bless every listener.
I feel like I've just been involved in something intense. I feel sweaty and hot, and with this chat, and can't wait to get
The
back to it
problem is,
tomorrow.
there's the thing with this is that this is just as we said before, scratching the surface, and we haven't even got into the Buddha from Northland.
Yeah,
Who
Oh, Buddha.
yeah.
I am,
We'll-
I am Buddha.
and on that bombshell, we'll leave you.
Buddha.